Hi guys, my name is Val. Welcome to Hoarding Rocks. On this channel, we are going to be going on adventures together to find some rocks and on adventures of cutting, polishing, and maybe making jewelry from some of those rocks. Today is gonna be a video 2 of the Acton, California Agates series because I just went on a rock hounding trip. If you haven't seen it, link is below, and let's check what I got for you today. I already decided I am always gonna have 2 dots or potential dots and the rest of potential stats so we can judge in the end of the video my judgment on the rocks. I am a very rookie in this. Hey Rookie Rockhound, thanks for letting me know that I should start my own channel. I picked few rocks. Mostly I picked from my stud pile, but I also got couple dots. We are going to go ahead and check them out, and then we're gonna cut them. Let's do it. So if you watched my rock hounding video, you remember this guy with those little speckles over here. Do you see that translucency? Mostly it looks like a host rock with a little bit of chalcedony over here, but I'm hopeful it might be a lot more than it looks like on the outside. I'm actually excited to cut this rock and see what's on the inside. Next one looks very quartzy, and I want to call it a dot, but I still put it in a stud pile because that green that penetrates into that quartz, and it looks like it has some quartz bending. So I'm excited to cut it and see how pretty that might look on the inside. The next one, we got a nodule, and there is a little window here with really faint bends. So it might be just a clear chalcedony, it might not be nothing, but who knows, maybe we'll see something on the inside. The next one is this guy, and it looks pretty ugly, but I have a good feeling about it. So I am not even going to predict anything. I can see a little of bending in the window over here, but we'll see how it looks. I have a feeling this might be a stud. Oh guys, and this one is going to be the one that I'm actually really excited about. It's a big chunk of chalcedony, and you can see there are some water levels that showing over here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna cut it somehow like this to make sure that I expose that. I might even cut it just the long ways. I'm actually the most excited about this guy. Okay, the next one, we got one of those greenish little things. Obviously a lot of chalcedony in there. I don't know how it's gonna look. It might just be clear, it might be some moss in there. I am pretty hopeful. Next one is one of those white, like the ones that I cut, and it's a lot of quartz going through here. And you can see that it's like a quartz and there is like a bending on the outside of it. So I think I'll cut it somehow like that-ish, long ways, and see on this side, we might actually expose some bending, so it would be really cool to have quartz on this side and the bending on this side. We'll see. And of course, we got a little egg, a little eggity, eggity, eggy, or quartzity, quartzity, eggy. We'll see. Now let's go and check out the dots. Well, this guy, you can see some quartz bending in there, but it, first of all, it's super duper fractured, and it might just fall apart on me. It might all be quartz, but who knows, maybe it's going to be a stud on the inside. This guy, well, you know when you get home after rock hounding and you go like, oh, why did I pick this guy? The truth is, when you rock hound, you get so excited, you get this adrenaline pumping, and you're like, I love everything. But then you get home and you're like, okay, well, it's that pile. So we're gonna cut it and we're gonna see. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna wind up being a stud. We are going to go ahead and take those guys on a sew, and we're gonna check them out later. Okay guys, I got them cut. I have not taken a look, and I cannot wait to see them and react to them right there with you, because I think it's gonna be a lot more fun doing it that way. Are you guys ready? I can hardly contain myself. First off, when I was about to cut those rocks, my blade literally just crumbled. So I had to order another one, and I decided to try something different. And then when I got it, that didn't quite fit, so I had to send that back, and I had to get another blade. And when I finally got the blade, I was like, okay, I have to cut those rocks now, and I want to see what's on the inside. So I cut them right in between my clients. So when I actually cut them, I had to go somewhere. And I know I told you I wanted to check them out together with you. So here I am. We have two potential dots over here, and we're going to start with those, and then we're going to be checking out our studs. All right, you ready? You can see one of the dots, well, couldn't keep it together. I have a little bucket of water here that I'm going to be dipping them one by one, and we are going to be checking them out. So let's start with the dot that couldn't keep together. Let me wet it, and I'm going to move this aside, and we are going to look at this guy. So you can probably see it looked very, very quartzy, but again, see, you can see there could be some potential quartz bending, you know, and you never really know with those guys, because sometimes it can be quartz, but it might be something on the inside, or it just can be pretty bending on the inside. Well, this guy lived up to my expectations, and it did wind up breaking all over the place. So let's go ahead and start with small pieces. Well, yeah, this is very quartzy. There is maybe a little bit something on the inside, but it's super fractured and super quartzy. That's not what I was going for. Okay. Yeah, so this is another big chunk of quartz, and it does look like a little bluish on the outside, like you can see it shines. So, and now we are going to look on the part that sort of kept it together. Again, nothing to write home about. Outside of it is a kind of response to fluorescent light. I don't know why. Why do you guys think it is? Do you think there is maybe a little bit of common opal in there or anything? I want to hear about it in the comments. So that will be for the dot number 1. However, see how ugly it looks on the outside? I mean, if it wasn't fractured, maybe this wouldn't be so bad. But it is a dot after all. The next guy, you can see it looks like another little ugly rock, but you can see the green color and it looks kind of messy, and we have a little something here. So I was wondering if it's gonna run through or what is it gonna look like. I'm assuming that is going to be a host rock for most part, because this doesn't look like it runs deep. So let's go ahead and look. Ta-da! Well, yeah, so this little white quartz or whatever that is, but you know, the pattern of this host rock is actually really pretty. You can see a little green. However, let's look at the other side. Let me actually wash this off. Here we go. So you can see there is a little bit of the quartz, and it's a nice pattern because you see those green little speckles in there and white. However, it feels very soft. It's not gonna polish well, but it's kind of cute. Here is a potential stud number 1. We have a little nodule, and I wonder what is it hiding on the inside. Okay, there's so many those little agate nodules or quartzite nodules there, and some of them are very quartzy, some of them have agates on the inside. So truly, you're never gonna know until, ta-da! Okay, so this one is very quartzy. What is this? Is a fracture in there? Yeah, I kind of could tell there would be a fracture. There is a fracture in here. I don't see any bends. Maybe just a little bit of a chalcedony running out on the outside, but it really doesn't look like it's bends. Yeah, that would make it a cool yard rock. Cool yard rock. That's about it. Next one, this guy right here. So on this side, it looks pretty ugly, but look over here. You can see a little potential bending, right? And then if you flip it, oopsie, it looks like this. So one of those rocks that I got in the last session, the white quartz, or whether it was white chalcedony with quartz, made really pretty bends. So I'm really hoping that this one is going to deliver something nice. You guys ready? Let's look. Oh, what happened over here? That thing nearly fell apart. Let me wash this part off. Okay, so you can see a little bit of bending over here, and a little chalcedony with a little bit of saginite possibly over there, and a little bit of bending over here. But there is a lot of host rock, and you know what, it's interesting. It is, look at that. There is a little bit of agate stuff here, but look at the colors. There is clear, there is white, there is a little tiny bands around this guy right here, and there is green. Oh my gosh. Oh, I actually really love this. I know it's not a classic agate, but look how much there is going on. Maybe for some that would be a dud. It's not gonna polish well because of this host rock over here on the inside. I don't think it will polish well, but I actually would really love to see how it would polish. If I could even get it like somewhat polished. The only thing, there is definitely some fractures going on, so well, maybe not so much. Maybe one over here. I cannot tell whether it's fractured, but look at this. I kind of can see these little formations on the inside, and that polished and this polished could really expose some real beauty. Of course, the host rock is not gonna polish, but I actually really like this one. I'm gonna call this one a stud. Okay, the next guy is one of those guys that I keep picking up and maybe I should stop. But do you see why I keep picking it up? Look at this green mixed with white, and it looks like a little quartz banding, and there is definitely quartz. It does look super quartzy, but look at this guy. Like, I actually think it looks really pretty. Let's go ahead and see what's on the inside. Ta-da! Well, that almost broke off. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me rinse it off. It did break off. But this part! Gosh, look at this! It is beautiful! Look at this white, this clear quartz, the white chalcedony, and that green. Does anybody know what that green is in Acton, California? Okay, and this is pretty too. Like, I mean, I know if I put this like in a tumbler, it will just crumble. But I don't know, guys. I actually really, it kind of is what I expected. This piece, I'll definitely call it a stud. Hold on, let me rinse it out once again. Wow. It is an absolute stunner. Absolute stunner. Oh, I wish it wasn't so crumbled. Okay, so this is I would say it's like a half a dud, half a stud, but I just really love this transition from like clear to green. Half a dud, half a stud. Okay, another little nodule. It looks pretty much just like a chalcedony on the outside. I can see a little bit of something that looks like it might be water level bands. Are you guys ready? Let's see. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, this is just so pretty. Look at this. What doesn't it have? It has a little bit of a smoky chalcedony with a little bit of a nugget over here and a little bit of quartz on the inside. It's like was trying to be a geode agate. And you know what, guys? There is a little fracture over here, and it looks like there might be a little bit of saginite sprays or tubes over there. I don't know what should I call that, but you know what? I am going to call this one a stud, and maybe I'll polish it eventually. Let's look at the other part of that once again. Oh, I actually might like this one even better. Look at this. This one has some depth to it. And that quartz like coming in like little needles. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this should be a stud or a dud? I think it's a dud. For California standards, I'll call it a dud. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so clearly you can see just a little bit of a ghost band in here, but I think the color of this chalcedony is so pretty. It's probably going to be very fractured, but I really love the color, and that looks like just another Turkish delight. And I hope this plays out nicely on the inside, and maybe there will be some moss. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. Ta-da! Oh, that was not what I was expecting. Oh, and it's so fractured, but look at those ghost bands in there, and the color is so pretty. Oh man, I am so bummed out. I am just like, look at those ghost bands and this, but look at those fractures. It is fractured literally everywhere. Oh no. All right, let's check in the other side. And the other side, well, looks a little weird. I mean, I say I should have just polished maybe this side, but if you look at those two, this side definitely got all the goodies, and they are all fractured. Oh, I can't get over it. Can you imagine how beautiful this would be if it wasn't fractured? But they literally run like this and like this. Oh man. Wow. I'm a little bummed out. All right, next one. Okay, here is this guy. Look at those little bubbles on the inside. There is a lot of the host rock though. You can see how there might be something running through, but on this side it's host rock, and then this little bit of beauty and lots of fractures. But I am just so curious to see how this will play out. Or this. Okay, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Well, okay. Okay, let's go this one first. So, yeah, there is a ton of host rock. Like, it's a host rock mostly. But look at this. It is just such, this part has so much depth to it. Look at this. Wow. And there is a little inclusions over here. It is so cool. So this part unfortunately did not run here. So, and this part, I guess it ran mostly from this side. So this is how it looks on here, and this is how it looks on here. And you can see it was such a bad cut. For some reason I had such a hard time cutting it, and it's just like saw marks like crazy, and I just got a new saw. But look at this little bend, and it's so cute. Oh, and there is a fracture, of course. But you know what? It's still really pretty. Look how you can see the depth of those bands, and you can see how they go from like super light to like dark, and you can like see how it's like, do you see how it plays out? Like minus all this is actually pretty epic. You know what? I'll stick that to the studs. I know. And I got this quartzy agate ugliness thing. So you can see why I picked it up, because you can tell the possible bend in there. There is definitely going to be a ton of quartz, but there can be that green, pretty green and white banding on the outside of it. Let's go ahead and check this out. Ready? Oh my gosh. Look at this guy. Look, are there some worms in there? Is this like, it's like totally white. Okay, it's totally white. You cannot really see, but there are actually little bends in there and the little tubes or eyes and worms in a little bit of a quartz pocket. You know, honestly, I'd be curious to see how that would polish, just because, you know, I feel like you cannot really see the bands, but I can from here, and it actually might wind up to be very interesting, especially with those little drizzles and worms in there. Look at that. It is so weird. What about the second part? Oh, the second part definitely is more interesting. Again, there is some eyes in here and the little, I would say, tubes, right? And we have like that white running around the quartz. You know what? We live in California. It's not like we have Montana beauty. I would still call it a stud, and I actually would be interested to see how this part would polish. I think that could actually bring out some beauty and clean this quartz out and make it like really shiny. That actually can be a fun one. All right, guys, so we have one left, and the reason why I wanted this guy to be last, you can probably tell why. You can see that little water level bending, and I gotta tell you, it was a really tough cut. Like, I'm gonna have like blade marks and it's gonna be a mess. However, tomorrow I'm going to a mineral society and hopefully I'll do some polishing. That's going to be another video because I've never done this before, and where I live, there's no way, and I do not have the equipment just yet. But look at the colors though. I really hope that that darker, smokier color really went all the way through. Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, hold on, let me rinse it. I promise not to look. Okay, ready? And see how like there is like the smokiness on the inside. Oh, please be good, please be good, please be good, please be good. Oh, wow. Wow. I found it! There is water level bands, and there is a fracture over here on this guy, and that's just saw marks. But look at this. There's a little white tubes, and look at that ghost banding. And look at the ghost banding. Okay, we got the studdiest stud for that. Okay, let's look up a little closer. I wish there was no fracture. It's such a bummer because look how beautiful this guy is. It's just like a little ghost bands over here, and that's so smoky, and that water level banding is just so pretty. It's like shines through. Wow. Wow. I wish there was no fracture. Those fractures just, you know, when you're like just starting for the first time finding like real agates, you know, not like the stuff that you find at the beach, and it's just so exciting, and like I wish there was no fractures in this one. But guys, look how pretty. You can see a little triangle on the inside and a little flow channel, I guess that would be, and the little inclusions over there. You know, I still think it's worth polishing. It probably would break off. It's sad. It's that the fracture parts are so sad because this is just so absolutely gorgeous. How did you guys like the rocks? Please comment down below. Remember to subscribe for more videos like this, and I'm looking forward seeing you on my next adventure.